Welcome back to the How to Be a Host podcast, and I'm your host, Charles Ewudo. And today I have a very special guest, Terry Buchholz. He is the general manager of the London West Hollywood at Beverly Hills. How you doing today, Terry? How you feeling?
I'm great, Charles, man. How are you?
It's been really good, really good. I do appreciate you taking the time to jump on the show.
No, I appreciate you guys being here, and thank you for including me.
Yeah,
And to London, I'm excited to do this.
honestly, I'm blown away of this venue, this hotel. It's beautiful. It's remarkable. We're currently here filming this inside of your hotel.
Yes.
It's lovely. I want to go ahead and dive right into it though. Are you able to talk to me a little bit more about your journey in hospitality? What led you here to be at the London West Hollywood at Beverly Hills?
Sure. Funny enough, I never thought that I would actually be in hospitality. As a kid growing up, I didn't even know what that was, other than my mother taking me to Roy's restaurant at the Westin Hotel on special occasions to teach me manners and and make sure that I grew up, properly. But funny enough, I started as a singing and dancing waiter
Oh, where?
for a cruise company
Okay.
outside of Seattle. And it just started there. I worked for this company, and then I moved to a small cruise company, local company, where we did, those private charters for dinners, lunch cruises, etc. The 2-3 hour tours that go around the bay. And I became a leader within that company at a young age. And then one day I'm originally from Seattle. So one day I met a friend for coffee. He was going to an interview, a round of interviews for a new hotel opening up. So I met him there, and eventually I was pulled in
Right.
to these interviews, and 5 hours later walked out going, wow, I think I didn't have a job or didn't get a job with them, and I wasn't looking.
Yeah.
But next thing you know, I am interviewing, and I'm like, I think I want to get into hotels. And then 3 weeks later, I received a call from the director of food and beverage from this hotel. At the time was no name,
Okay.
and asked if I would be interested in joining. And it was the W Hotel Seattle, the fourth property to open within the brand. It was in its infancy at that time. So I started as an in-room dining supervisor.
Yeah.
I was with W for 6 years.
Yeah.
Quickly grew within the company, became director of banquets, director of catering conference services, director of entertainment, director of food and beverage on their opening team. And that's what eventually led my move to San Diego.
Wow.
And so I was with them for 6 years, and I love the brand. It was amazing. And but I wasn't done learning. And so I stayed in San Diego, and I was with Destination Hotels, was at the Estancia La Jolla Hotel and Spa for almost 10 years.
Oh, wow.
As a director of catering conference services, director of operations, and then that was my first GM role.
Wow. Okay. You have quite an impressive resume. You have a lot of experience working with some of the most legendary hotel brands
Yeah.
in the world. That's really impressive. You know what I mean? But right now you're here at the London West Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I'm curious though, based off of your experience, what really makes the London different from the rest of the hotels in Los Angeles?
Sure. It's a good question. The London's an iconic property. It's been here. The building itself, the hotel itself, has been here for 40 years. So it's entrenched in the entertainment community and the West Hollywood community itself. It transitioned to the London Hotel in 2008. And from there, it's carried its name. Really what sets us apart, our location. We're right off the Sunset Strip, between Larrabee and San Vicente, but we're tucked away. We're kind of the escape and the go-to for the production companies, the studios, talent. And here they're able to keep their privacy, be exclusive, or feel like it's it's very exclusive, and the exclusivity is key for that, and the discretionary service.
Oh, I love that. I really love that. I mean, I could see exactly where it's positioned, right in the heart of all the action. that really must make guests feel like they're really a part of that Hollywood environment, a part of that scene when they stay here. And honestly, I've been to your rooftop before, and I know the views are impeccable. You can
Mhm.
pretty much see everything from
Yeah.
there. That's really cool. And now I'm really curious though about, I could only imagine you guys do really blow out events here. Um, in your view, in your point of view, like what does it mean to host events? Like what does
Mhm.
hosting mean in 2025? Are you able to talk to me more about that?
Sure. I think hosting in general, for me, I like to look at, when we operate our properties and we're working with our team and our guests, it's really creating an environment where the guest feels comfortable,
Yeah.
and really knowing your guest. It's very important that we know our guest. In order to do so, it really starts with our team, starts with training, common vision, common goals, and coming from me, providing the tools and the resources for them to deliver this service.
Yeah.
And then going out into the event side, this property, really what sets us apart, we have a 110 seat screening room.
Wow.
We have some of the largest the largest guest rooms in the market, starting at 725 square feet and
Mhm.
going up to as much as 11,000 square feet, which is our penthouse.
There.
And we're wired for junkets. Our entire second floor is all wired for junkets, so it just makes the studio's jobs a lot easier. And so for us, the meaning of hosting is a yes mentality. Whatever it takes to do it, we do it.
I love that. I love being there for your clients and being able to create these experiences that really creates that wow factor. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, and it takes a really strong seasoned team to be able to deliver that time and time again. Are you able to talk to me about or walk us through how do you handle like these large scale events? I imagine there's a lot of complex moving parts to it.
Yes.
Mm, What happens when someone wants something very particular or have like a last minute change?
Mhm.
How does that impact your workflow? How do you execute when those requests are too seemingly impossible?
That's a $1 million question. It's inevitable in this business that change is going to happen. And you always hear in this business, anticipate the guest needs, anticipate the guest needs. And we can't do that without knowing the guest, right? But change is critical, and it's the yes mentality that keeps us moving on. We can always solve an opportunity, solve a challenge. And so any request we're able to accommodate. Um, and the planning of it is for us is we have to know the details. We have an incredible sales team, an incredible event team. Our food and beverage staff um, is fantastic, and the tenure of the team. They've been here for a long time, so they know the property. So it's very easy for us to change course. And on a celebrity standpoint, or talent, last minute we can get a call 15 minutes out saying we've got XYZ individual coming in,
Wow.
and security's on it. Our security team has been here 15 plus years. They know all the sheriffs, and they know all the security details. We have private locations for talent to come in and avoid being seen. So we're set up.
I'm curious though. Are you able to tell me a little bit about some of those A-listers that walk through your doors? I'm curious.
Well, that's what I think probably sets us apart from a lot of other properties is we don't name drop.
Yeah, yeah,
And we go as far as if we have guests that see a familiar face on property, right?
yeah, yeah.
They'll get it on Instagram and they'll tag us. And so we have a great social media marketing team. If we're tagged, it comes off, right?
Yeah.
We and I think that's why they keep coming back
Yeah,
time and time.
I love that. It's really about if you know, right?
Right.
Yeah, I love that a lot. So I'm are you able to talk to me about your process and all of this? How involved are you in the early stages of the planning of these events? Are you hands-on?
Very hands-on.
Okay.
I not on a micromanagement standpoint.
Yeah.
We're very much all about collaboration. But I think it's very important for us to all understand, the details from arrival to departure and everywhere in between, and the logistics with that communication. Even though it may not be my job that evening for that event, I need to know it. You know, and there are some things that ideas the team has that I may not have thought of, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's very important that I'm involved, and that we're hitting all the touch points.
Oh, I love that. Um, okay. So there's a lot of different features in this hotel. Just walking through this hotel on my way in, it felt like a very Art Deco museum vibe to it. That's how well the design was illustrated in every room and every wall. Um, can you talk to me more about, you know, what areas do you guys host these events in? Like, what areas stand out to you that clients gravitate the most toward?
Sure. I think, obviously the screening room serves its purpose,
Yeah.
right? It's 110 seats. It's great for, um, uh, obviously screenings
Yeah.
but kind of a misconception with the screening room is it's not just for the studios. You can host corporate events there. We do comedy events, open it up to that. But then on reception events, the rooftop, our penthouse is 11,000 square feet. That includes indoor and outdoor space. It's the rooftop of the penthouse, best view in the house of all of LA. So everybody wants the rooftop. Everybody wants the pool area. However, we do keep the pool exclusive to hotel guests.
Okay.
So there is that fine balance. You will never find us having a pool party or anything like that. We have to make sure that, because the guests come here to get away.
Yeah.
And to not be seen. So it's a fine balance of managing the right events and getting the right events in house, and also balancing the experience of the hotel guest.
Okay. I love that a lot. You spoke about the screening room. I'm curious to, what that looks like, because that does sound like the perfect environment for Hollywood. Are you able to talk to me about what happens inside your screening room? Is it like movies? Like what happens there?
Yeah, I mean, we work with all the major studios here. Award season, obviously, it's a very popular place. We can do up to 3 screenings a day, um, followed by receptions in the restaurant and our additional event space.
Yeah.
But it's used for screenings, Q&As. It's also used for independent. I love supporting independent films. So we're working on a program right now to support independent filmmakers and providing them a place where they can exclusively showcase their product, their
Wow.
film,
Okay.
to investors, to distributors,
Yeah.
etc. Where normally they wouldn't be able to do that.
Right.
So I love that portion of it as well. And then same thing, working with local comedy clubs and comedy troupes and having comedy nights. I mean, there's so many different things. And the other thing too is music launch. People will host album launches, and so it's more flexible than just being just for screenings.
I love that. Sounds like, you guys are very involved with assisting creative partners with executing their vision when it comes to that. Are you able to give me an example of how you partner with these creatives to bring those visions to life for them?
Sure.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things. It's not just entertainment that we collaborate with,
Yeah.
right? I mean, in this day and age, it's all about wellness, fitness, fashion. So I can give you an example. We just recently partnered with Saks Fifth Avenue Club,
Oh,
and they created in collaboration with us a suite off of our lobby for personal private shopping. So our guests can, have a personally curated shopping experience. We've partnered with Conscious Market, who's put in a retail store called Bailey Wick, and they support local crafted artists, designers that don't compete with Saks. That's our opportunity to support community, right?
Yeah.
We also work with another group called Den Meditation. So we have wellness activities throughout the week that we're able to offer for our guests. But at the same time, we're able to work with this wellness community and offer them a space to improve their community footprint while also providing experience for our guests.
Right.
So partnerships are key.
Yeah, I love that. That's really fascinating. I love how involved in the community that you guys all are in. Given the position that the London Hotel in West Hollywood has, and the type of creatives that gravitate to this location, it really makes sense that you guys can do all of that and provide that type of environment for all of the creatives in the ecosystem. That's really impressive. And what are some of the major trends are you like seeing when it comes to like guest experience? Like, are you able to talk to me more about your approach to elevating that?
Absolutely. I think what people are experiencing now, especially in the luxury market, is just yes, the word yes. And my thing I always share with the team is the answer is yes. What's the question? And being able to have those resources available to provide and deliver that service. But some of the additional trends that we're seeing, especially on the culinary side, is more and more interest in wellness, plant-based or plant-forward food. We're in the process of working on an Ayurvedic cocktail menu to roll out, creating a juice bar.
Yeah.
And that also ties into our partnership with Den Meditation. So really kind of, tying the strings together, if you will, throughout the property on an experiential standpoint.
I love that, by the way. That's impressive. And I love how you guys are tying the knot between wellness, especially we've seen that Gen Z are moving towards a very health conscious lifestyle. And it sounds like the London Hotel in West Hollywood is at the forefront of that shift. Are you able to talk to me about, how you guys are tying the bridge between, wellness and sustainability?
Yeah.
And how are you guys like fostering that community together? How are you guys doing that?
Yeah, I can certainly kind of elaborate on that. Funny thing with wellness for me, especially in the hotel business, my background, in the last 10 years has been circled around wellness. I've supported some wellness properties in Southern Florida, and out here on the West Coast. And you see properties starting to focus on wellness. And when you dive into it, it's okay. Well, they offer Pilates or they have yoga on the deck, and wellness is so much more than that.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's great to have those available. So for us, on a wellness standpoint, providing more of a holistic experience. So those who are more into the spirituality of cleansing the chakras and meditating while getting a good yoga workout, or working with a Pilates instructor, giving them access to that. And that's what our partnership with Den Meditation does, and also gives them access to not just meditation, but to acupuncture, to
I love that.
some good therapy, in addition to and massage, and neurofeedback, and all of that. And it's all through a partnership and a website and access to those clinicians and therapists. So that working with Den Meditation was my main goal, to help kind of thread in some physical wellness opportunities on property, but also while not disrupting the actual process of delivering experience, right? Because all of the wellness can be a little overwhelming and sometimes far-fetched. So it's there for those who are curious. And it's the basics are available though for those who just want it.
So are we talking about like classes, full-blown classes?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had a sound healing class a couple of nights ago. Every Monday we have a wellness mix and mingler in the morning. It's actually done in the theater, and everyone's sitting on meditation pillows, in their seats, and they're going through a guided meditation to start the day and set the purpose. And for some people, that's like, woo, that's way too much, and others like, oh, that's awesome. but it really draws the community in, and we get 40 to 60 people a session.
That's so cool. Okay. So it's all Zen here then.
We're a little bit. That's not who we are, but it's part of offering that experience. We're in Los Angeles.
Yeah. And like Hollywood, you know, a little balance of both, right?
Yeah.
I love that a lot. I mean, honestly,
You can have your tequila at night, then you wake up in the morning and detox with a good meditation and some OJ, right?
you know, you gotta have both. You gotta have rest and recovery.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. I love that a lot. Okay, so you know, hospitality is ever changing. You know what I'm saying? How are you guys? What are your thoughts, or how are you guys approaching your strategy around future proofing luxury hospitality as a brand and staying true to your core essence? Like,
Yeah.
how are you guys doing that?
That's a really good question, because the challenge is in today's age, change comes quickly.
Yeah.
Right. So our job is to stay relevant, also stay true to ourselves, and true to our guests. But relevancy is key. And that's a broad statement to kind of take it a little deeper for you. And you've heard me say this before, knowing your guests, we've got to listen to our guests.
Yeah.
We also have to listen to our team. You know, they're in the trenches. I'm not. I need their feedback.
Right.
I need to know what's going to make their lives easier to deliver fast. Technology. We constantly have to upgrade technology. I can use the junket space as an example. You know, back in the day when you're doing press junkets, you know, the studios come in and their production team comes in and they're hauling miles of cable and all of that. And, you know, so we invested a lot of money to hardwire the entire second floor for all the rooms. So it's plug and play. So that's just a small example, but technology is really the true piece of delivering and staying in touch.
All right. So, what's your favorite memory of the hotel?
Oh, discretion, privacy. So I'm not going to name drop.
Yeah.
But telling a dad joke to an Oscar-winning actress in the service elevator while escorting her to a junket.
Oh. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. If I could be a fly on the wall, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
She thought the joke was horrible, and it is. Yeah. It was. But
hey,
she asked for it.
Right.
Yeah. She heard somebody walk by and say, you know, because in morning lineup, when I attend housekeeping lineup, which isn't every day, I'll tell a dumb dad joke. And so as we were entering the elevator, one of our team members walked by and was like, "Yeah, Mr. Terry, that was a great dad joke today." Yeah. So this individual was like, "Well, I like a good dad joke, Mr. Terry."
Okay.
And so I was like, so I said it, and she's like, "Okay, I need some work."
I mean, sometimes a dad joke could land.
Yeah.
You know, it just didn't land this time.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. That's fair. That's okay. Don't feel bad about that. It's all good.
What was the joke?
Oh, the joke. Yes, I believe it was, how did the butcher introduce his new girlfriend?
Oh, okay.
Meet Patty. Right. I got the same look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think.
But that was the dumb joke I told in the morning. That wouldn't have been the joke I preferred to tell.
Huh?
But they asked what the joke was, so I told the joke. She agreed it was dumb.
You had to come up. They're all good. You were put on the spot.
Right.
That was okay.
Yeah. You know, listen, you can't embarrass me. I can only embarrass myself, and I don't embarrass easily.
Right. Exactly. As long as you own it, you rocked it.
I did.
You did your
I
thing.
took it all the way home.
Hey, why not? You took it there.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. I mean, yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Thanks, Charles. I'm glad someone is.
Of course. I got you. I got you. Okay. So what's the best kept secret about the London West Hollywood at Beverly Hills when guests arrived and they discover it? Like,
You know, it's funny. I was talking to my director of sales and marketing about this recently. I think, you know, the best kept secret is the screening room.
oh,
Right. Again, it's people know we have it. They just don't know they have access to it.
oh, wow.
You know, it's
Okay.
not just exclusive. And so I think that's pretty cool. You know, we can sell for corporate events. Again, like I said, stand-up nights, whatnot, working with independent filmmakers, et cetera. And then kind of a fun fact about the property is that, you know, we have one of the deepest pools
Oh.
in West Hollywood. because we were grandfathered into the ordinance when they started creating the shallow pools, more shallow pools. So
Right.
our pool goes up to goes as deep as 6 feet, and guests are always surprised. So it's kind of nice, you know. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
I can't duck my head in it. You probably wouldn't either. I'm 6'6", so I could still walk the whole thing.
but your pool is iconic.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. So, like, what's the most underrated view or hidden gem of the property?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say that's Boxwood sitting room, which is it's the back of the restaurant. It's where we serve our afternoon tea, which is iconic, by the way, here in West Hollywood. We do it on Saturdays and Sundays. But the view, because not everyone has access to this room, it's a private space.
Yeah.
So when you walk in, it's just a panoramic view of Los Angeles. You're not up on the rooftop, of course, but you still have views of the neighborhood, the trees, but then you can see LA and the city in the background. And it's just fantastic. And it's just a great backdrop for, having tea with mom.
Oh, that's so cool. You know what I'm saying? I personally haven't been to Boxwood yet. But after this conversation, I'm just like, yo, I'm just dying to go there. I got to go there now.
Well, you have to. I mean, we have an amazing Chef Anthony Keene. He's been here for 14 years. He's classically trained. He has worked at all the major properties. He's been at the Ritz and Four Seasons, etc. And extremely talented chef. And our the Boxwood restaurant, I like to think of it as old school Hollywood, if you will.
Okay.
Especially at dinner.
It's like a
Put the lights down. Got the white tablecloths, the old school vintage lamps, except they're touch, right? And they weren't back then.
like that.
And the retro glassware, where you just walk in and you kind of, that there's some Hollywood mafia in there. There's some celebrities. You got Marilyn Monroe sipping on some, martini, whatnot. Just that vision. It's just a fun restaurant.
Sounds very vibey.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. You know what I mean? To kind of like almost conclude all of this entire fun conversation, I know we're all curious to know, like, what is your biggest lesson when it comes to hosting events? Is there tips you could share with us on when it comes to hosting events?
Yeah, I say the biggest one is not only keeping your team involved, but really make sure the client remains involved.
Oh,
I mean, we do some big events here, but you're really making sure that you're understanding their vision, their expectations, but then taking it from there.
oh,
Goes back to knowing your guest, right? And you can't anticipate needs if you don't know the guest.
yes.
And you really have to make sure you have a clear understanding and not be afraid if you don't understand their vision, or even if it's something that's going to set the hotel up for failure, to say, how about if we try this? I want to be honest with you. You got to be transparent with the client. I want to be honest with you. We aren't experts in this. What we are experts in are this. Would you be interested in doing a twist? Right.
Yeah.
So it's just transparency and having them involved.
Yeah. I love that. It's about problem solving, right?
Yeah.
And make sure that you understand what their problems are and giving them the right solutions and helping them navigate that. And it sounds like you guys do that really well. Okay, so our listeners are professionals in this space, and I know that they're going to be curious to learn more tips from you. Are you able to share, how can like aspiring hosts or event professionals, like what's some nuggets that they can learn from you or your team here at the London West Hollywood?
That's a good question. I think we all learn from each other in this business, so I think one thing, there's no trade secrets, right? What we've done today has already been done yesterday. So don't be afraid to share best practices and get out there and observe what's going on. And it's okay to do something that somebody else has. Just do it your own way. Adapt it to yourself. Do what works, because what works for one may not work for the other. And don't be afraid to change.
I love that. And that was well said. Thanks again for taking the time, Terry. This is a phenomenal conversation.
This was fun, man. Sitting on my own couch here,
You know what I'm saying? You got to chill in one of your rooms for
Yeah, it was great. Well, Charles, thanks again for having me today and having us and featuring the London West Hollywood of Beverly Hills. So for those of you who are interested, you can find us at the londonwesthollywood.com, or we're here at 1020 North San Vicente Boulevard. And we look forward to welcoming you through our doors.
Yeah,
Charles, it was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Likewise. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.